Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Mind the Moment's Tuesday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. And this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino. I am delighted to be here with Mary Starr, one of our fabulous mindfulness instructors working with us at Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, and just really happy to have everyone from Point 32 Health, Tufts Health Plan, and everyone else that has joined with us this morning. So good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everybody. Yes, and I'm thrilled to be here. And I, for one, am not experiencing a sunny day here in Metro West, but that's okay. It's still a new year and a new day, and that's all good.
Yeah, true enough. So with that, today we'll start off with a question for the group. Mary will share that, and then she'll lead us in at least a 12-minute guided practice. And for anyone that's new with us this morning, welcome to you. Just this guided practice, the 12-minute guided practice will be a mix of guidance and a little bit of silence to get us all used to that type of meditation practice. So if anyone's new, no worries. We'll guide you throughout the whole process. So happy to have you here. And after Mary asked the question this morning, and then she leads the practice, we'll have a little bit of time for questions. So if you have anything that is coming to front of mind, you're welcome to even type that in the chat whenever you feel so inclined. So if you go to the bottom of your screen, if you know how to open up the chat, just click on bottom of the screen and click on chat. And when you do that, you have the opportunity to click on the blue drop-down menu that says hosts and panelists, and you can click on everyone. That will enable all the folks that have joined to see any questions or any comments that you're making. So, Mary, what is the question that is coming to your mind this morning?
Yeah, well, so on a January, 10th day after the new year, the question is, if you are working with any new resolution or intention for this 2023, what are you noticing? Be kind of an open question there.
Yeah, and I love it. Yeah, so Mary mentioned this a little bit ago to me, and I've had an interesting beginning into my year. So I don't know that I've really made any specific intentions, just because just other things have taken my focus. But I will say that my practice has been a little sporadic. My intention always is to meditate each day, which I do, but I'm finding I'm doing it at different times. And I'm traveling, so that always tends to throw me off. But I've had some really unique places to practice. So I do find that I look at myself and say, how is this working? Like, sometimes I feel like I'm not in that place of regular practice, but I am trying to be a little kind to myself and say, you know what, you find a place to practice where it fits into your day. Mm-hmm. So when I say practice, I mean meditation practice. So
yeah, well, that's beautiful. I think you said a lot there, Suzanne. And often for myself, if I think it needs to look a certain way, like you're talking about meditation, if the expectation is doing it a certain way at a certain time, then I think you use the word judging, or we see how it's maybe not according to the standards that we had in our mind. So easy. Mm-hmm. And I've seen other things coming in, other comments.
It's too easy to slip back into old habits. Yeah. I mean, that's why they're habits, right?
Yeah, noticing the friction. That's a nice word, to make it happen, not smooth to make it happen. Noticing enthusiasm, optimism, and a bit of uncertainty, self-doubt. appreciate all of these really honest reflections. Feel the beginner excitement and hoping I can maintain. Yeah,
Lovely.
all
Lovely.
of this, for myself, resolution is maybe kind of a harsh word, but I think I do as some achiever and maybe a life journeyer. I like to use the word just a reflection of the past year and kind of setting the compass forward. And for me, it's involving some maybe a little deeper dig into internal, noticing some habit patterns of mind, which can always get tricky. And it's very subtle and it's easy to get caught in old habits. So it's been real humbling, and it is real humbling, I think, in general, to kind of see where we might be going and where the resistance or the friction might be. And at the same time, optimism. I'll own that too, because every moment is an opportunity, pay attention and to be kind. We can shift any of this.
Yeah, I love that, Mary. And when you say every moment's an opportunity, I love that because it's an opportunity to reset our mindset, as well as, okay, maybe it didn't happen than we wanted to, but every moment, or even I even think of every morning, you wake up and you think, all right, maybe yesterday didn't work out the way I wanted to, but yeah, there's another day. So I love that.
Yes. And that's practice, right? Beginning again.
Yeah, lots coming in too. So, yeah, so not yet meeting my intention as I'm dealing with a bad cold, slows me down. Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, that can throw us off in the beginning. I hope you're feeling better, Teresa. Yeah, that can knock us off our game. Getting sidetracked often, but I can start fresh with rededication whenever I fall off the horse. Yeah, you don't have to give up completely. Nah, definitely not. And, I feel like each time we fall off, we kind of learn what works better for us. Was that intention to when Mary was mentioning a resolution, it's too hard. Was it too strict or too, so we learn, right?
Yeah.
Commitment and ease so far. Wonderful, Colleen. Yeah. Usually work with a monthly intention, but this month and New Year, I felt the urge to slow down, pause, and contemplate. So I'm using not having an intention as my intention. Yeah, I connect with that one for sure.
There's some freedom to that. These are wonderful, really wonderful reflections and offerings into, how we're practicing. Yeah.
Journaling about intentions, Anita. Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Mary. It's so wonderful to read these because we all can connect with every single one. Proud of myself that you're saying most days versus every day. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Noticing some synergies emerging as I find new resources like this webinar to establish mindfulness as a practice. Yay. Yay.
Well, so
Good
this
news.
might be a really good time to segue into a little practice together. As Suzanne said, this will be at least 12 minutes, but you can count on that 12 minutes anyway. I'll start probably with a little bit more guidance in terms of my voice. And then, if you're not, but there will be some silence in there to settle into. And I'll end with ringing a bell, so you'll hear that to come out of it. All right. So to begin, sitting, or you could stand if you wish, but finding a comfortable position. And having in that comfort of the position, just a sense of being upright, so being alert, and also being relaxed. So we can soften shoulders a little bit and soften the belly, noticing the places that might feel a little tight that we can just relax with noticing. And either closing the eyes or just softening your gaze and finding a focal point, a single focal point, and through those half closed eyes. Can you notice within the body itself, the connection points that you're making to the chair? So do you have a sense of within the body supported, grounded? You can feel connection maybe to the hands to the body or the feet to the floor. All of these as little anchor points in the physical body, establishing our presence, physical presence here and now. And take a deeper breath in, just sense what it's like to take a deeper breath in, letting it go. If you wish, you can do that a couple more times just to establish, yes, the body breathing, a moment of breathing in and out. And in time, just returning to a natural breath. But seeing if you can follow within the body the sensations as the breath comes in and goes out. In this way, connecting in the deepest way to presence as we experience it moment by moment through the breath. In this space of time that we have together through the practice, what you may notice, you might notice it quite often, ultimately, is mind is distracted. It moves on to stories or thoughts or a noise, it creates stories of past and future. But we can return to the sense of the body, and the sense of being here, sitting, and of the movement of the breath. These are all anchor points for our attention. They tether us, so that gentle tether to now. And for as many times as we move away and get distracted, we can remember and come back. We will remember and come back with kindness. And continuing to practice together, knowing that this is the practice, this being here, the intention to cultivate a sense of presence, to be with the experience of the body and the mind, that for as much as it moves, it can return, it does return, and that we can meet it with kindness. And in fact, every time that we can come back, instead of a moment of judging, we can choose to, greet ourselves like, hey, welcome back. As silly as that may seem, you might try it. Just greet yourself with open arms. Hey, you're back. Welcome back. as we continue with this remaining time of our practice together, a continual invitation to soften, relax, and just open to what is within your experience. Whether it's the body being tired, the mind being distracted, whether having a sense of really enlivened and right on task. That it's the experience itself, and being with it in a kind way is really what matters. It's not perfection. This is practice. And as David White, the poet David White, has put it so well, he says enough. And so what if this moment and this experience is enough? David White says, enough. These words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this just sitting here, this opening to life, we've refused again and again until now. Until now. So we'll have just a little bit more time sitting quietly. Enough. These words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here, this opening to life, we have refused again and again until now. Until now. And so with the ring of the bell, we end our meditation time together. Thank you for your good practice. So if eyes were closed, you can open them and reconnect to this, our community here.
Thank you so much, Mary. I could just listen to that poem over and over again. It just works.
It's a goodie, and perhaps, it could be that many of you are familiar with it. Every time it comes my way or I hear it spoken, it just lands like right there. Because for me, and I would even say, especially at this time of year, as there might be more of a sense of, improving myself or, doing something different, shifting some, habit, whatever that might be. It's just like, what if this was enough? Not to be complacent about it, but just, this is the practice. This just opening, surrendering and opening, being kind is all part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and how important that is. I think it's what you mentioned earlier too. Is and I'll type in the name. What you mentioned about welcome back, and how you said that during the practice, which I think is just such a great way to come back. Like, I think we realize we think anybody new to practice, and I noticed some new names, and that doesn't mean you're new to practice, but it can be easy for us to say, oh, here I go again. I'm distracted. That is the mammalian brain. I mean, that is how it works. And if it doesn't do that, sometimes I think it's almost like, what's wrong if you're not doing that? It's like, that's just the way it goes. And so if it's happening, just what Mary said is that when you notice it, that is it. That's the moment of mindfulness. You have woken up and you're doing it completely right. And not that you can really do this wrong, but that's when you can say, yay, like you give yourself a pat on the back. I just woke up. And
literally, that welcoming yourself, honestly, that was a game changer for me in terms of just softening and going, oh, hey, I'm back. Truly. So, I still come back to it. It's my favorite little hack. My favorite little kindness hack is being welcomed at the door of mindful moment of presence. Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a good reminder. Those of us that have practiced for a little while think we remember that all the time. We don't. It's just, you kind of get, life, there's so much going on in the world, and there's so many ways that we can be taken off our game. That's just part of life. So, anyway,
yeah,
it is just a great subject that you've brought us to, Mary.
Well, I think anytime there can be this reminder of, especially around the word resolve or resolution, which just seems so rigid, is that, practice, no matter what we're practicing, is that exactly what we've been talking about. There is a little bit more of a dance around it, and there is a coming back, and, and every moment is fresh, honestly. So if you haven't gotten your 3 weeks in to change that habit, it doesn't matter. You just keep and have your compass set towards where you want to go. And, that is the practice. That is enough.
Yeah, for sure. And we many times we call it the practice so often, and it doesn't sink in how when you practice something, it means sometimes you do it the way that you want to do it. And sometimes you do it a way that maybe, doesn't resonate that day. I mean, we were talking about this in one of the other webinars that one of the participants said, I was distracted the whole time. That happens to people all the time. I mean, that if you're distracted the whole time, it just means you're having a really busy mind day. And that's okay, because you know what? You came and sat. And the fact that you just gave yourself even a 5-minute time frame or even a couple minute time frame to be quiet. I mean, think of all the people in the world that might not do that. So yay for you,
Yep. That is the foundation of the practice for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Colleen says, I find my practice really helps bring me back. First time I've not judged myself for making a mistake. I'm awake in 2023.
So I've not judged myself. Oh, yay.
Yeah.
And that can become a new habit, the not judging. And it's, it's it can be practice one time, one little hug at a time, as you notice in practice, and you say, welcome back. So, yeah.
Well, thank you to everyone for everyone who has joined, anyone that's new. Just a couple of reminders as we finish our practice today in our webinar. Tomorrow, we will be here. Wednesday, we do a Zoom meeting format, so we will have our little windows available, and whether you're on video or not, it's completely fine, whatever works for you. So I'm going to share quickly, if I have it here, the Wednesday morning link. Hang on 1 second. Oh, here we go. You know what? I'm going to share the Harvard Pilgrim website, because this may be an old link. So there's that has all the sessions included. So a very, very, very big thank you to you, Mary, for bringing us this practice and for reminding us about all these things that they're so easy to forget. So we're grateful. So thank you.
Oh, always a pleasure. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Nice to see you all. And we'll be back here Wednesday and Thursday this week. So look forward to seeing you and hope to see you again soon, Mary, here.
Me too.
Always great to have you on. We'll see you soon.